Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is most known to horror fans in her role as Vanessa Shepard in Hell House LLC III Lake of Fire, as well as her recent role in 825 Forest Road, available on Shudder. And she is reprising her role as Vanessa in the upcoming Hell House LLC Lineage. She's never been on a podcast, but for some reason she chose mine first. Everyone, please welcome Elizabeth to the show. Elizabeth, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I don't know, this is gonna be I'm being very vulnerable right now. I feel like I'm always out of shape because I'm always out of breath after that intro. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I need to work out more or not, but maybe it's too much. Was that too much of an intro? Did I intro you well?
I think it was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Not only am I a friend, I'm also a fan of your work. So I'm very excited to have you here. I as you know, as I made it obvious, I'm a big Hell House LLC fan, so it's awesome to have you on. But yeah, I think I feel very honored, like I said, to have you uh experience with me your first podcast experience.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know what to expect exactly, but I'm excited.
That always feels like a first date for me. You never know what to expect, but you just hope you don't get murdered.
Yeah, exactly. If it
Yeah,
goes
geez.
well, you don't get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you will not get murdered except with laughter, hopefully.
Oh, okay, great.
We'll see. If you ask my wife, I try too hard when I joke around, so that will probably happen.
Okay.
But Elizabeth, I'm it's so crazy because I always tell people when I have them on after watching their movies, it really fucks with my head because it's kind of like I have to separate the reality from the movies a little bit. Do you ever experience that kind of being on the Hell House stage and doing that throughout your
Yeah,
career?
yeah, definitely. At the Hell House Lake of Fire, they had a bunch of people from the original cast, the original movie, and from the second one there. So that was kind of funny because I had just watched their movies, like preparing to do that one. And then suddenly I'm like sharing a hotel room with Ryan Jennifer Jones, who was Sarah in the first one. And that was kind of like surreal and a little strange. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, not to get too inside the actor studio, but what's the origins of your career? What got you into acting?
I started doing school plays. I'm from Connecticut, and I did my first school play when I was 6, I think. Um, and then just kept on doing that. Really loved it. I went to performing arts high school, and then college, and I don't know, it's just kind of the only thing I was ever really interested in or wanted to do. So yeah.
No, I get that. It's hard to like want to make a career out of something you're passionate in, but sometimes it's kind of like it's all you want to do. I don't want to have an office job. I'd rather just sit here and talk to people like yourself all day long. I think that's the goal, but it's interesting because looking at your IMDb, it is a lot of horror related stuff even before and after Hell
Yeah.
House LLC. What caused that pivot into horror? Was that something you always wanted to focus on with your career?
It wasn't particularly something that I was like looking to get into specifically. I really enjoy horror and I love, I mean, I'm from New England, so like Halloween and like spooky horror stuff, occult, things I've always really enjoyed. And then my first TV gig was one of those murder reenactment shows for Investigation Discovery. My husband was a serial rapist and murderer.
Oh wow, okay.
So my original like reel was all stuff of me like crying and screaming and getting beaten and stuff like that. So I think I got a lot of other stuff just kind of based on that being my reel that I was putting out there. And then I got more stuff and then more crying and screaming went on there. So it kind of got like stuck in that vein a little bit, but I also do really enjoy it. So I'm not, unhappy that it's kind of gone in that direction because it's really fun.
Oh yeah, I think horror is, and I've said this many times, it's the best form of storytelling and acting and everything. And so is that how you met your husband? I'm a big fan of like love stories besides horror. So is you just looked at him as like that guy playing the serial rapist, something charming about him. I must have him.
You did actually do the lines with me for my self-tape to get that job though. But no, we met he was a chef at the time and I was a waitress and we were working at the same restaurant. So, yeah,
Nice.
we met.
Very, very 90s meet cute. I feel I love it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, not online or anything. We actually like met and became friends first and then like started hanging out more. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's the way I met my wife on a dating app, and surprisingly, it worked out, even though those are terrible. But
That's how you do it now. Meeting people randomly like out in public seems like bizarre now.
it does. I was telling someone that the other day. It's like when I was single in my younger days, um, I felt weird walking up to someone and trying to give a cheesy line
Yeah.
and asking for their phone number and then being very creeped out by it. But if I swiped right, is it right on Tinder? I've been out of the game
I
so
don't
long.
know. I never
Yeah.
had to go through it.
Is swipe whatever. And they're
Yeah.
like, hey, here's my phone number, here's my Snapchat, here's my WhatsApp, all that stuff. But yeah. Uh I mean, I obviously love horror. Clearly that's the name of my podcast, but I love rom-coms too. And it doesn't seem like that happens as much anymore. So it's nice to hear when you have those meet cute things.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
For sure. And pivoting back to horror, um, what kind of got you into the Hell House LLC? Were you a fan before that, or is this one that you just kind of jumped into after auditioning?
No, I hadn't heard of it actually. And so the casting call was just on Backstage, and I'm not sure
Mm.
it even said that it was Hell House LLC that was doing it. It was just it said it was the third film in a trilogy, and it already had like kind of a fan base and stuff. And so I thought that sounds really cool, and I auditioned for it. And then when I got the email that I had a call back, then I was like, I should check out what this actually is. And I watched the first one and it scared the shit out of me. It was
Oh,
so
really?
scary. I actually had to like take breaks while I was watching it because I was getting too freaked out that like it wasn't fun anymore. Um, and it's funny because it's not anything like gory or like overtly scary. It's more like this dread that kind of builds and builds towards the end, but I thought it was so good. So then I was like really excited to go in for the callback and to get the part was like amazing.
Yeah, and it's cool because I mean, we won't say too much about the new one. We'll talk about it a little bit, but having your character in the third one, it was very intense, but then you see the progression throughout that movie, and then you jump into it again. Uh, did you have to shake the cobwebs off a little bit jumping into that for Lineage, or was it just second nature for you?
Yeah, it was I've never replayed a character like that. So I had to go back to like my notes that I had made for the original movie and yeah, I thought her storyline was done at the end of Lake of Fire. It was kind of like tied off nicely in a little bow for that original trilogy, and then they went in a totally different direction with the Origins Carmichael Manor one. So I was really surprised that I was coming back, but very excited. And yeah, it was cool to kind of take what thoughts I had about her in the first movie and then shift that into who she's become in this one now, because it is like a very different kind of progression. She's in a very different place.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I feel like I'm a great interviewer. These are some good questions. I might even be impressing
So
myself.
good.
No, actually, I'm not. These are like very cheesy questions. Here I'm gonna throw a curveball your way.
Oh no,
Do,
okay.
do you have a favorite out of the series?
Do I have a favorite? I mean, the first one obviously is great. It sets the tone and everything, and that original cast is so amazing and they work so well together. And having them all come back, like meeting them when we made Lake of Fire was really cool because they still had that like connection and chemistry and everything. So I really loved that one. And I thought Origins was really great too,
Oh yeah.
going in a different direction, but keeping some of the elements from the other movies, I thought was done really, really well.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat too. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but the first time I watched Carmichael Manor, I had to watch it in bed because my wife hates horror movies.
Yeah.
So when I was reviewing it, when I got the screener, I had to watch it in bed, but I was getting scared shitless, kind of like you were saying, like you had to pause and stuff a few times, but then like the next night I had to interview Bridget and Destiny, and I was just like, it's tripping me out because
Yeah.
this happened and this happened. But I will say this, and I'm going to lay on the cheese here a little bit. So please excuse me if you are lactose intolerant or do not like cheesy people. But I've always been impressed with not just your role in Lake of Fire, but Lineage. Like, holy shit, man, that's kind of like you cranked that character up to 11. And of
Yeah.
course, we won't say too much
Yeah.
because everybody needs to see this. But this, and I wrote in my review, I feel like this is the scariest one yet.
Oh, yeah?
Oh
Nice.
yeah,
God. Yeah, I think this one has the most scares in it of all of them. I think there's a lot. And the fact that it's narrative instead of found footage, the scares are really different. He's able to do a lot more by having the camera shift around and the clown doing different stuff. So yeah, I think this one should hopefully be really scary.
how would you pitch it to somebody if they've never seen the series and you want them to jump into Lineage? How would you pitch it to them?
That's really hard. I mean, do you have to
I
give the
know.
backstory of all of them?
No, I don't know. I'm a dick. That was a dick question. I apologize. But no, I just think it's funny to like I'm always curious how people will pitch their own work to someone who's never seen it to get them to see it. Um
Uh,
but I mean like if you could always be it like it's scary as fuck. Just watch it because that's what I
yeah.
would tell people. Or you could write a tremendously long review like I did, shouting like just the giantest fanboy ever.
No, it was great. It was so awesome of a review, which we appreciate. But yeah, it's hard because there's so much history, and I'm like, how much do people need to get into it? I think you could probably watch it on its own and not have to see the other ones. But I'm not sure because obviously I know so much about the lore and everything and being in the movie that it's hard to say. Um, but
True.
yeah, but I'm Vanessa Shepherd, and I used to work for a morning show, Morning Mysteries, and I died and came back. The during that, I'm doing a terrible job already. I don't know.
No, I'm sold. If I've never seen this movie, I'm sold, Elizabeth. You got me. You
Oh,
died, you came back, you hosted a morning show. It's almost like Aunt Becky from Full House, except there's ghosts.
yeah. And now my life is in a shambles, and I'm in Abaddon, and spooky things start happening to me. Enjoy.
Nice. There you go. That see, there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the best way to do it. And you were in it. So now it's even more so. But yeah, I was gonna say, oh man, Joe and that fucking clown, by the way. I know he fucks with people on set a lot. Did he mess with you guys quite a bit in this one?
A little bit. It was like a mannequin that they used for one of the practical scares, and that made its way into one of the actors' closets, I think. It was I had like my phone and my script out on the table, just like in the dining area where we were all hanging out, and then I left the room and I came back and the mannequin was in my spot, like holding my phone, and that was a little scary, little jump scare there. But yeah. So a
Yeah.
little bit of shenanigans, yeah.
Yeah. Knowing Joe Bandelli, if people aren't sure who we're talking about, the producer of all the Hell House LLC movies and just a great human being in general. Um, I've
It
always
also plays the clown.
he does, and man, in this one, holy shit. I don't know what he was on, but damn,
He had a lot
scariest I've
to
ever seen him be in that. Because usually it's really campy. This one, then you add the whole red ball aspect, which is not a spoiler. So
do. Yeah.
yeah, this is why you guys need to see, and in theaters for
Yeah.
sure. Like I've already seen it. I'm gonna go August 20th to go see it. So
Nice.
everybody I think needs to as well. Hopefully, you guys, I'm sure you will do a premiere for it.
I think that we're supposed to. They did for the last one, so but I haven't heard exact dates or anything yet, so we'll see.
Nice. What are you the most excited about people to experience watching this movie with you returning?
Um, I'm excited for them. I mean, the scares are going to be awesome, I think. Also, if you've been watching the movies, it ties together the lore of the first three and the last one, the fourth one, really well, I think. So a lot more about, the cult and how that, affects everything that happened at the Abaddon Hotel and all that sort of stuff. So if anyone's, curious about that aspect of it, I think it really lays that out really nicely in this one.
True. And also, like, I know there's a lot of people in this movie too, but a lot of it rests on your shoulders. And it's, like I said, you've had so much range in that movie, and it's incredible. Like, you're upset, you're like fighting your own inner demons, but you're also fighting these other demons and stuff like that. Um, I think that's what I'm the most excited about people to see it. Not only because the movie and the franchises are awesome, you get to come back, but at the same time, we get more of the Vanessa character and just what, because I've always wondered how people would be after the whole Abaddon experience. Like, what's
Yeah.
their life going to be like? And it really dives deep into that.
Yeah, it does. It really kind of follows her and the how much that experience has affected her and like changed her life and everything and just dealing with that. So there's also like a really nice emotional core to the movie that kind of grounds it, even though it is like really scary and a lot of, different crazy stuff is happening. There is that kind of through line of just a woman trying to figure out how to live her life after this really traumatic thing has happened. So yeah, I thought that was really cool and it was really fun to play.
Yeah, plus that location, like, for all those movies, is just such a beautiful area. Like, I know
Yeah.
Abaddon's a fake town and like they have the hotel in there for attraction stuff, but the landscape alone, like there's a scene in a field, which we won't get into.
Yeah.
Even that scene, just like where they filmed the location for like where your character ends up, or the home and just like the neighborhood and stuff, I think was such beautifully shot footage, in my opinion.
Yeah, the town and everything was great. It was beautiful. We actually stayed in the pretend Carmichael Manor. It's actually called the Fern Estate. But yeah, so we got to stay in that location. It is really creepy. It's beautiful, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
creepy. And my room was actually, if you watched the last one, Origins, the room of the brother, Chase. That's the room that I had when I was staying there. So that was a little creepy because I remembered the scenes that happen in that room in that movie.
Oh yeah.
So, but after the first night, I was like, okay, nothing happened. It's all right.
Yeah. You want to really fuck with people, you watch that movie in that house. Like, just to show people how brave you are. But then I would do that, but then it'd be 1 in the morning and I'd be pissing myself in that room, not being able to sleep because
Yeah.
I was like, I really pulled a fast one on myself, and now everyone's gonna know that I'm a chicken.
I watched rom-coms before I went to bed every night to just try to get it out of my
Ooh.
head, get a decent night's sleep.
What's your go-to rom-coms?
I'm a big Jane Austen fan, so I
Oh,
like,
okay.
Pride and Prejudice and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I like cheesy 80 ones too. So I watched like Girls Just Want to Have Fun
Nice.
or Jessica Parker, stuff like that. Yeah. Or anything Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe versus the volcano.
My
You
favorite
got
movies.
mail.
I love that movie.
I do too. It's such. I always tell people, if I didn't have a horror podcast, I'd have a rom com podcast.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Yeah, one day it will happen, Elizabeth. I
Yeah.
promise. Because I love it. So that's my go to. If I get too scared from a movie, I put on a rom com, and that's usually the best. I mean, if it's true, Drew Barrymore's in it.
Oh
Sold.
yeah. Those are
Tom Hanks sold.
hmm
I wish Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks did more. They
Yeah,
don't.
they should do another one.
Yeah, I haven't seen them do anything. Maybe
Hmm.
it's like, what would be a good sequel to You Got Mail? You Got Poked, like on Facebook.
Yeah. You got swiped on, something
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
You got bumbled. There you go. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the slang for it. You got snapped, and then maybe she's a killer. I try to
Got
tie horror movies into
yeah.
everything. Oh man, that's a so I do this for every guest. I send a recommendation list of movies after the podcast.
Oh, cool.
I'll throw some good rom-coms in there, especially if you like 80s ones. Like
Yeah.
those are mine, like Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, I love that one. Austin Land is good with Kerry Russell. I don't know if he's on that one.
Yeah,
It's so
Jennifer Beals
good.
in that one. So good.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good to clear your palate every now and then. I mean, there's only so much decapitations and hauntings and clowns that you can deal with to where you just need a little love and
Yeah.
just maybe a little Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah, sure.
Who knows? Oh yeah, and you know, can't say enough about Nev Campbell. She doesn't get a lot of good aspects in rom-coms. She's so focused on horror movies. She
Yeah.
does. Um, let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh, and I can hear my dogs in the background. Um, now that we've done all the cheesy interview stuff, are you ready to get into the hardcore stuff, Elizabeth? I
All
mean,
right, I'm ready.
let's get into it. And here's something that I like to ask everybody because again, I love horror. I want to know why people love horror. So, Elizabeth, why do you love horror?
Um, I guess there's just something really fun about being scared. It makes you feel more alive or something. Yeah, and there's something comforting almost about seeing like this really scary worst case scenario when you're on your couch, like under your blanket and like cozy at the same time. So yeah, I love horror. I love true crime documentaries and stuff like that too, even though
Nice.
they're, often horrifying things happening to women in particular. For some reason, we seem to be the biggest demographic that likes to watch them. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like the intensity of them, I guess, is really fun.
Do you remember your first horror movie that you watched that really just scared the shit out of you?
Um, the first movie I remember being really, really scared by is not actually a horror movie, but Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is terrifying.
Ooh,
A kid
okay.
watching it. Because he definitely murders all of those kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Like one line at the end where he's like, "Oh no, they all went home safe." But I don't believe him because he's a creepy, weird guy. And you shouldn't just trust him on his say so. I want to see those kids. So yeah, that one. And then I think the first official horror movie that I watched was one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I don't think it was the first one. I think it was
Okay.
I just remember the scene really vividly of the kid with the hearing issues and his grandmother sticks the Q-tip into his ear. That scene really freaked me out. I'm not sure which one that is. Maybe you know.
That is Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
I have proven myself to you, hopefully.
Yes.
So I
Very good.
now we're cool and now we're buddies. And now you know that this is why I have a podcast
For
because
sure.
I've got a Rain Man like remembrance for movie things. It's very weird. We're probably the same age, but like back in the day, Blockbuster was a big thing. I used to work at them, and people would tell me the most minuscule details, and I'm like, oh, it's
Oh,
this
nice.
movie.
That's a
Yeah,
nice skill to have. Yeah.
yeah. It's. I mean, it didn't impress the ladies one bit as
Yeah.
much as I thought it would have, but I thought maybe, but
And you're
no.
pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, alas, it didn't. But
No.
anyways, Um, so a lot of people should know this by now. I like to ask everybody some of their favorite horror movies, and you have a great mix of horror movies. So, do you want to get us started with your first one?
Sure. I guess so. I have a bunch of different ones. The Blair Witch Project is a big one.
Ooh,
I watched
yes.
that in the theater when it came out.
Oh shit, I didn't see that in theater. I'm so jealous.
Yeah. And you were kind of scared before you even got to the theater because they did such a good job on the marketing and putting out like those missing posters and stuff. And it was like before social media. And so it was like, is this real? It like no one really knew if it was like a documentary or in a horror movie. And yeah, I was like 13, so my dad had to come in and see it with me because I think it was rated R. And it scared me so bad. I think I slept with the light on in my room for like a month after seeing that.
I did the same thing.
I
Like
lived in like the woods too in Connecticut, so
oh
it
yeah,
was like really, really creepy. Um, yeah, so I love that one. I love Arachnophobia. I didn't see that one
yes.
until I was an adult, actually, but I thought it's just such a well done movie, and the casting is so good. So yeah, that's become our Valentine's Day movie, actually. We watched it every
Valentine's Day.
day because it has
Okay.
a scene where the South American spider makes love to the little barn spider and you see their little legs crisscrossing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute and romantic. So that's our Valentine's Day movie.
That's an interesting look at romance is two insects banging and making weird eggs, but I think people love each other and see
Yeah,
romance differently. I think that's fine.
whatever
Plus,
works for you.
oh yeah, you know, no, I mean, people don't kink shame, so you can't love shame or romance shame.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but the best part of that movie is John Goodman, to
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest. Like, he's the best. I mean, nothing against Jeff Daniels or anybody else.
Yeah. He's definitely the breakout character in that. It's so good.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Spider. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. I mean,
No, I mean, they're just inherently icky and,
ugh,
make
yeah.
you uncomfortable. So, yeah, it's really good for a horror monster.
Are you afraid of spiders, or is it just kind of like so with you?
I'm pretty afraid of spiders. If one was like on me, I would definitely freak out.
Okay.
Yeah.
My fear, they always say, take your fear and give it wings, and it's
Mhm.
going to be so my fear definitely has something with wings and a different speed. So I'm terrified of mice and rats.
Oh,
So their winged versions exist with bats, and it's just
yeah.
ugh. And there, I mean, there's plenty of rat movies, but I will not touch those with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. I lived in the city for a long time and rats are just everywhere. So they don't bother me too much, but bats creep me out too. Yeah.
Oof, yeah, no, thank you. My old apartment, every fall or spring, somehow there was a bat near my door hanging.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
really?
I'd have to psych myself up. So people seeing, I mean, I'm a little bit of a robust man, but seeing me like pump myself up and then yell and scream at a very high pitch, an embarrassingly high pitched volume, running to my door and just slamming the door shut, and just you can hear me in the apartment, just like I made it. But yeah, I just they're gross.
Agreed.
Not to take away from arachnophobia or anything,
Yeah.
but uh, there's a weird death scene in that movie with a bird. The bird picks it up, and then the bird just like has some weird scream, and then it just falls to the ground.
Oh yeah, 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 because the spider has bitten it. So like its venom is or whatever is so strong that it just killed the bird immediately.
Yeah, and it just it's so funny. It just flops to the ground like a freaking comedy movie. And then you got the football player kid who, just out and out just dies in the middle of the game because one like crawls into his helmet.
Yeah, and then the popcorn scene in it too. They're
Oh
eating the
yeah.
popcorn. There's a spider in it. That part grosses me out too.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I am terrified of the woods because of the Blair Witch Project. I'm probably more terrified about popcorn and spiders directly after watching that movie.
You have to really sift through the popcorn now and make sure there's definitely no spiders.
Oh god, yeah. Those little bastards are in everything.
Yeah.
They're everywhere and I hate it, but no, I think it's a random choice. I don't think anyone in the history of this podcast has ever brought up arachnophobia. So my hat's off to you on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit, I mean it's more horror comedy, so it's kind of its own little offshoot, I guess. It's not like, stabbing and stuff like a thriller, but yeah, I think it's great.
I mean, horror comedy, I mean, has its place in horror. I mean, there's
Yeah.
horror so many like Idle Hands. Did you ever watch that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That or The Frighteners. I'm always telling people The Frighteners is
I haven't heard of that one.
it's really weird. So it's Michael J. Fox, and he is a con man psychic, but
Mm.
he can communicate with ghosts. So he uses the ghosts to kind of like con people out of their money. But then there's a whole murder plot, and it's pretty good. I mean, I love Michael J. Fox. I will
Oh yeah.
always champion that man.
Mm. Is this 80s, 90s?
It's like 90s, like mid 90s.
Okay, cool. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, Jake Busey's in it, so that's kind of random.
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't see that guy much around.
No.
It's
Hmm.
weird. What happened to him? I saw him in a true crime movie though. That was very, very good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called Pig Killer. It's
Hmm.
about this Canadian killer is based on because you love true crime, so you'll probably like this.
Yeah.
It's based on a Canadian serial killer, and I forget the guy's name, but he would capture prostitutes and take them to his pig farm and murder them and feed them to his pigs.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name, but it's a pretty popular story, and it's one I highly recommend. So if you like true crime, I'll put that one on the list for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what do we got next on this magical Elizabeth's scary movie list?
Well, probably the most divisive one on the list is The Happening.
Ooh, yes.
I
Fill
love
in your
The
plants.
Happening.
So I have to ask because this is not a very well regarded or loved horror movie. Why do you love this one?
Well, first, I think that it is a horror comedy. I think it's really funny. Um, no one in the entire movie has like a normal human reaction to anything.
Yeah.
The reaction to everything is just bizarre. I mean, Mark Wahlberg cast as like a mild-mannered science teacher is just
Yeah.
weird. There's a monologue about hot dogs in it. And then it has all these incredibly bizarre kill scenes that like a guy walks into the lion's cage and just holds his arm out, hoping that a lion will sniff it and then rip it off. Like, not the smartest way to kill yourself. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really funny and strange. And that one I watch every Arbor Day. Because
Okay, that's a good Arbor Day one. I guess I've never even thought of it in that aspect.
you
I
don't have
just
any Arbor Day plans next year.
no,
Watch
I
the hat.
don't. But there's a lot of Killer Tree movies, surprisingly. I
A
mean,
lot of Killer Tree movies?
yeah, there's one called Tree Venge. It's about
Oh,
like it's like a Christmas one. It's Christmas trees coming to life and like killing people. It's very, very weird.
cool.
So that maybe you can add that one to the Arbor list
Yes,
for Arbor
definitely.
Day. I
And
don't know.
Christmas list.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's just something about that movie. So to me, I mean, I enjoy every horror movie,
Yeah.
even the bad ones. But I gotta say, Killer Plants is more believable than Mark Wahlberg and Zoe Deschanel being a couple.
Yeah, no chemistry. Just really bizarre matching there. But all the things about it that make it like not work or should make it work for
Yeah.
me personally.
No,
Um,
I get that. And you got Marky Mark like, hey, Plant, do you mind if I go to the bathroom? Is that okay? Worst Mark Wahlberg ever. Hey, bro.
it was pretty good. You have to make everything in the form of a question, even if you're saying a statement.
Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, bro. Do you?
Trying to
That
kill me?
this is why I have no career as an actor. This is I've disgraced, and you're a professional actor, and I've now embarrassed myself.
My impersonation was not any better than yours.
Yes,
So,
it was so much better. But yeah, I don't know. I listen to podcasts and they do it so well. And do you ever hear something like an impression? You're like, I can do that, and then you do it and you just disappoint everyone around you. That's how I felt that was.
yes, I've definitely experienced that. I really think your Mark Wahlberg was not as bad as you think it was.
I don't know. I'll work on it. I'll work sharp a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
And I went British when I said that because I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I love that lawnmower death, by the way. I think that's my favorite one in that movie.
The lawnmower one is really good too. I like him sticking out his hand so that gets the lawnmower first for whatever reason. He doesn't want to go face first.
Yeah, well, the face is the moneymaker, but everything else, just please use a John Deere like mower over it. Why not?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not M. Night Shyamalan's worst movie, to be honest. I mean, he's had worse. I mean, Avatar is very terrible. I mean, but he's kind of had a resurgence, except for that trap movie is just a movie for his daughter to have a singing
Yeah,
career. I
that
was like,
was kind of funny. I was watching it and I was like, they're playing the entire song in this thing. It's really weird how much they're focusing on her. And then I looked it up and it was his daughter, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
that makes sense now. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, poor Josh Hartnett. He just got pushed to the side, so someone's,
Yeah.
nepotism. I mean, I'm fine with nepotism. There's been some good nepotism careers, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like that movie. I tried. I really tried.
Yeah, it had some issues. I thought Josh Hartnett was actually really good in it, though.
Do you remember when he was a heartthrob and everyone just thought he was sexy?
Yes. Yes, I believe I was a teenager when he became big, so yeah.
I was too. He had messy hair and he just acted like a douche, but everyone was obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, he did some good horror, like Halloween H2O was really great with him. The
Yeah.
Faculty was really good. I really like that one.
The Faculty was a really fun movie, yeah.
Oh, and then they're gonna remake it now.
Oh,
This
are they? Oh,
Yeah, it hurts my heart when
yeah.
people remake things that don't need to be remade.
Yeah, they don't need to do that with everything that worked from before. Yeah.
Well, no, and I always say this. They say that they want to do it for younger generation, but the younger generation now has more access to movies than we did when we were younger. We had to go to a video store. We couldn't stream it. Like the coolest thing you'd ever see in that aspect is, Ed TV, Matthew McConaughey using his mirror in his hamper to watch TV while he was, using the bathroom. I was impressed by that. I was way too impressed by that. I was like,
Were
oh man,
you?
you can go to the bathroom and watch TV at the same. What kind of world is this that I want to live? And now that's just what everybody does.
Yeah, you can watch something on your phone and you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's TikTok. I think there's so much doom scrolling why people go potty with TikTok. That's probably why it's so popular.
Probably.
Probably.
It's all based on bathroom habits, yeah.
There's a horror movie there. I went to the bathroom and I couldn't stop scrolling and I died. Tick flop. That's what we'll call it. Tick flop.
Ooh, nice title.
Yeah, I've earned your respect again, and I'm glad. I'm on a high note. I'm gonna George Costanza it out and just go from there.
Oh, it's fun. Thanks.
Yep, I'm out. There you go. What do we have next, Elizabeth?
For my favorite horror movies, we're going right down the list. Let's see. I love 28 Days Later. Um,
Okay,
I like fast zombies.
okay.
I think they're much scarier than the slow ones. And yeah, that was such just a great movie. Like aside from the horror aspect of it, it was just like really smart and, making a comment about, the culture and everything. It was the acting's amazing in it. Um, yeah, so I'm excited for the new one coming out too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you feel about the new one. I mean, 28 years later, one, I feel very old knowing that that's the case, but also, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel it's got a lot of good potential. What do you think?
I haven't seen trailers or anything, so is there a trailer out for it already? I just like heard it was happening. And is it
I
the
think so. Sorry, what was that?
is it the original director again?
I
Or
can't. I think so. I think there's just a different writer. I'll have to look into it. I think I've maybe seen a teaser trailer for it,
okay.
but there's everyone's freaking out because they think the one guy from the first one is the zombie, but it's just an emaciated zombie. It's not really him.
Right. I remember seeing stuff about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does kind of look like him a little bit.
He does, yeah, and it probably will be that will probably be the case, but I don't know. I always thought with 28 Days Later, how what a way to fucking wake up from a coma.
Yes.
You know, you wake up and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm out of this coma. This is great." And then, "Oh wait, there's a zombie apocalypse. I'll
Yeah.
just go back to sleep."
Yes. Just look for drugs in the hospital and just
Yeah,
get out of there. Yeah.
yeah. Find that medicinal marijuana, maybe lace it with some codeine or something. I don't know what kids do these days, but no, and I do agree with you. The fast-paced zombie thing is it's really not even in the second one, the 28 weeks later, I was really impressed with that one.
Yeah, not as good as the first one, but still a pretty good movie. I still enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, that's always the crazy thing. It's hard for a sequel to be anywhere near as good as the first one. Sometimes they surpass it. There's sometimes we get lucky with that.
yeah, or if they go in like a totally different direction, so you're not comparing it to the first one the whole time. Because I mean, part of it I think is just like the experience that you were going through watching something that you like the first time. It might not even be that it was that much better than the sequel. It's just like where you were at and what it makes you, remember and feel like from that experience.
True.
So,
Do you have a horror sequel that you feel is better than the original?
I don't know if there's better than the original. I think all of the first three Scream movies are really good. I mean, maybe the first one's probably the best by a little bit, but I think they did a really great job with the second. And the third one's just amazing because of Parker Posey, honestly.
Oh god, I love
Um,
Parker Posey so much.
yeah, she's so good in that movie. But that one, it stayed at like a really high level, I thought, for all three of those.
True. Should we jump into those? I feel like I've got a lot to say about
Yeah.
Scream. And I think I love that you didn't just put one of them, you put the first three, which is pivotal. I think it's a pivotal part of the franchise. It's what made it so popular.
Yeah. Hmm.
Do you have a favorite out of the three?
Favorite out of the three. I don't know. I probably the first one, I guess.
Okay.
Um, but the second one is like right behind it, I think. The second one in college is really good. And Nev Campbell is much more like, come into her own at that point too. So as like the final girl, she's just like really badass in that one, I think.
Oh yeah. I remember that one when I first saw it. I was like, "Oh, cool. They killed Buffy first off.
Yes,
They
yes, they did.
killed they killed the Vampire Slayer. People tried to do that for 10 seasons. All she had to be do is thrown out of the sorority window, and then they killed Randy, which everyone was so upset about that.
Yeah. Were you?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
upset. And I think I was also upset that, the sister from Roseanne was the killer. I was just kind of like, but I was like a young kind of a punk jerk back then. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I hated Fight Club the first time I saw it, which is embarrassing to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, it's fucking imaginary friend. Get the fuck out of here. I was very angry and bitter when I was younger, Elizabeth. I don't know why, but I'm a
Oh,
very
man.
humble and kind man now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I hope so. Because then, I'm just a prick. Nobody likes to hang out with that guy.
No, that only works when you're young and
I
cool.
know, right?
When you
You
get older, it's not so cool.
Yeah, you can't be the jerk guy who hates everything. That only worked for the Fonz, and he wasn't even that much of a jerk.
No, right? He was a
No,
pretty good guy.
yeah, he just hit stuff and went A and it worked. I mean, that's about it. I'm really
And
aging
also, he's
myself.
in this Scream movie. To bring it back around to
Oh
them.
yeah, that's true. You're so professional. You're like, well, let's bring it back here. Yeah,
Bring you in a little bit.
yeah, no, I appreciate your assistance because I can ramble a lot if you haven't noticed. On the first one, can I tell you, I feel myself and a lot of people were stupid in that era because of Scream.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, we think about it because I rewatched it and I'm like, how the fuck did we not know that Billy Loomis was a killer? He kept spouting off horror trivia through the whole movie,
Yeah.
and it's just like, why did it's like one of those epiphany moments where you're like, how the fuck did I miss this? Were we all distracted by Drew Barrymore being killed, and Wes Craven doing the meta thing that no one realized. This guy who, there's a killer out there asking what your favorite horror movies is, and besides Randy, this guy's fucking talking about horror movies for majority of the whole film.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit obvious in hindsight.
Yeah, like very obvious, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think with the opening of it and killing, like, she was pretty much a big star back then. She was probably the biggest star, like, in the movie of the younger cast. So I think, like, fucking with your expectations and stuff maybe kept us from, like, because obviously the boyfriend is probably going to be the killer. That would be a little bit obvious. So maybe, like, we didn't
Yeah.
because it was too obvious or something. But yeah, I do remember being really surprised, and Matthew Lillard being the co-killers together.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the most surprising too. It wasn't just one killer. It was like the first time they had a more than one. And I love that movie. I mean, Matthew Lillard, like improvising most. If you're a good comedic person and you can improvise a movie line, no matter what the movie is, you've earned my respect.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a little biased though because I've been doing stand up for like more than a decade. So if people can pull off comedic stuff without trying, I get a little jealous, but also at the same time, I hold them in very high regard.
Yeah, for sure. I get jealous too. I cannot do that. So,
I don't know. It's a skill that I don't know like how people do it sometimes. I mean,
mm.
even in the second one, I feel like Timothy Oliphant had a lot of improvised moments. Same with Jamie Kennedy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of that, and yeah, I don't know. How do you feel that the first one compares to the third one? Do you feel like it progressed really well with the trilogy? Because I know a lot of people complain about the third one not being so good because of the half brother thing, but I actually liked that aspect of it.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. It just, especially as they go on past the third one too, it gets a little bit, it's like so meta and upon meta that it's like, when is this going to be enough? So that I felt like probably was happening a little bit in the third one. But it was just like really fun. So I didn't really care too much that certain things might be a little cheesy or convenient or something. So yeah, I think it's still a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah, and we have that storyline because somebody leaked the script to the third one, so they had to rewrite everything. I don't
Oh,
know if you know
really?
that. Yeah, it's really crazy. Like someone leaked it. They had a bunch of different ideas for it, and I think there was still the aspect of him being the killer, but then like somebody else was the killer, like maybe Stu was gonna come back and
Huh.
that whole thing. But yeah, I remember reading that someone leaked the script and they had a heyday and had to rewrite everything. It might have been that one or the second one, but
Okay.
that doesn't really happen that much these days, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I thought the ending of it was good, whatever it was supposed to originally be.
Yeah. Plus, you got Patrick Dempsey in it, Mister, McDreamy, if you like
Mhm.
Grey's Anatomy or
Yes.
his anatomy. Hello. I'm very straight, I promise, but I can appreciate a handsome man.
Really? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I that was very judgy. I I just you caught me. Maybe I'm a little bi. I don't know, but
Well, for Patrick Dempsey, who wouldn't
yeah.
be? I think that's natural.
Isn't he had like the weirdest glow up, I feel like in movie because he was just a dorky, weird little man, and now he's just this very I don't know, like now he doesn't seem to get that much work. He's not even gonna be in the new
Yeah.
Scream movie. I think Joel McHale replaced his character.
Oh, really? As Sydney's husband, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Hmm.
I'm really curious to see how that is. I mean, the newer ones, I really enjoy the newer ones. They're a lot darker, they're a lot but the original 3, those were my go-to. I loved and I have a very special place in my heart for Wes Craven because he's one of my favorites. He's so many of my favorite horror movies are by him.
Mm. Yeah, I totally. Nightmare on Elm Street, the whole thing, and Scream. It's like an amazing number of things that like twisted the genre too, and kind of like recreated
Yeah.
it. So yeah, yeah, he's awesome.
Should I mean that was a good segue to your next one. The Nightmare on Elm Street. Should we jump into that one?
Sure, sure.
I am, as you saw with a lot of the stuff I showed you on my tour, it was a very short tour, but I have a lot.
Of your studio, yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of Freddy Krueger stuff. So that is just I have way too much love for that. And the first one is it's some would say would probably the scariest one out of the series. Would you agree?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that one's really good. The scares are so cool. The way I'm Lynn, I watched the like how they made it thing too, and like the revolving room that they made to make like, the kill
oh
happen on the
yeah,
ceiling or the blood coming out from the bed. All that stuff is like so cool to do on no budget too. And like,
true.
yeah, it was just crazy and like making your dreams scary when you're supposed to be like, feeling the safest and you're most vulnerable and everything. Yeah, it's just a really awesome movie.
Plus, I mean, Freddy Krueger to me one of the coolest horror villains. Plus, he's got the
Yeah.
coolest weapon too.
Yes, and fashion sense, and he's funny. Great villain.
True. Fat.
Mhm.
I mean, he was rocking one glove before Michael Jackson did. That's
Yes.
probably where it came from. I mean,
Hat, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about. And I think I've always been fascinated about nightmares and dreams and stuff
Mhm.
to where even as a little kid that really hit it. But I think that was my biggest introduction to horror movies was Nightmare on Elm Street. And clearly, like I said, I've become very obsessed over the years. And yeah, it's just interesting the whole progression. There's a documentary called Never Sleep Again. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but it goes
Yeah.
over the whole Nightmare on Elm Street saga and just
Mhm.
everything, and it's insane. But that first one, it's very subtle, but it kind of gives the whole, it lets your mind wander with some of the stuff. It's not as gory on some parts.
Mhm. Yeah, I rewatched it more recently, and parts of it are kind of funny now watching it, like the end with the mom being pulled through the door and stuff like that, and
Oh yeah,
her drinking problem where she just pulls bottles of vodka out of places and just walks around with it. I thought was a
yeah.
little bit over the top.
I
That's
mean, that's probably how an alcoholic probably is. I mean, it's in that aspect.
something about her walking around with it in the crook of her elbow as she's talking struck me as funny.
Oh, yeah. Or just her just drunk on the couch, like locked, locked, everything's locked. I've got
Yeah,
my put bars on the window.
yeah, she's not a great mom.
No, and how fucked up is it? Like, don't get me wrong, I get the aspect of, the whole revenge thing of the parents killing him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, did they have to move into his house and keep his, you know, glove in the fucking furnace?
Yeah, that's a little bit messed up. It's a little bit strange that she keeps it in her own furnace.
And then she's like, Mommy killed him, so he's not gonna come after you. Okay, well, because you guys fucked up, this guy is like terrorizing me and my friends, and you guys don't believe shit.
Yeah.
It's
It's
such a
a
weird.
little unbelievable that at a certain point they wouldn't be like something actually real is happening. But they keep on. Her dad's across the street with the boyfriend that just got murdered, and he's just like she's screaming out the window, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're fine in there." That part's a little silly.
Yeah. Not to mention, I know her mom is a drunk, but she pulls the hat out of her dream in the sleep institute with his
Yeah.
name in it, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, well, that's weird. Like
Yeah.
you must have hid that hat. How do you know Fred Krueger? How do you know his name?" And then she's just like, "Okay, I've been drunk enough, and I'm starting to come down a little bit. I'm going to tell you how me and some people murdered this guy."
Yeah.
So weird. And
Yeah.
yeah, that part. So I want to say the producer Bob Shea is the one who made them do the pulling through the door thing at the
Oh
end,
yeah.
and
Mm.
it's so dumb. I mean, that guy's a weird dude. He likes to insert himself in those Nightmare on Elm Street movies. The second one, he's wearing some fucking leather outfit at like a weird
Oh,
bar.
is he in that weird bondage scene in the second one?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, the second one's super bizarre.
I like it. It's a very cool concept, but it gave us one of the first male scream queens, which is great, and
Yeah.
I love that actor, and I think he's so good, and that movie got, like, a bad rap. I still feel like it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's definitely still fun. I get a little confused. At the end, Freddie appears to an entire pool party of teenagers.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
they all asleep together, or he's just hanging out at the pool party while they're awake? I was a little confused.
So, because he's possessing the Jesse kid's body,
Yeah,
he can come into the real world, which is one thing that Wes Craven hated. He never wanted him to come into the real world because he's a dream demon.
right.
And that whole God, the best part about that scene, I know we're talking about the first one, but the best part of that fucking pool party scene is the guy talking him down. He's
Mm,
like, "It's cool, man. It's all right." And then Freddy's like, "Shut the fuck up," and just kills him right there. It's like, I'm sorry, if I saw a burnt killer guy pop out of nowhere and he's slaying everybody, I'm not
yeah.
going to talk him down like it's a hostage situation, like he is
No.
robbing a Starbucks. I'm sorry, that's not the way to go.
No, you don't try to be a hero in that situation. You get the
No,
hell out of that pool.
no. Yeah. Plus, what a cool '80s pool party, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that was cool. And then,
Mm.
yeah, but the first one, oh man, I love so many aspects of it. I used to do this joke on stage about how um Johnny Depp, you always wonder what happened to him, about
Mhm.
how he gets sucked into the bed and there's just blood everywhere. I always assumed he just got transported to the court with Amber Heard, and that's just his nightmare, and he just decided to jump into a blender and just end it all.
Aw.
Oh, what a weird. It's so weird to think that's his first movie. Like, it's
Was
not a
that
lot of
his
people.
first one?
Yeah, he was doing some stuff. He got cast because Wes Craven's daughters thought he was hot. Like,
Okay.
what a way to get a job. Hey, honey, this is guy Johnny Depp. I'm gonna put him in my movie. Oh, he's dreamy.
He does wear a crop top well in that movie.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. It's hard
It's hard.
for
You can,
anybody.
but you gotta really have the abs to pull it off.
Yeah, and that's another thing tying to Scream. The that Rose McGowan Tatum, her character,
Mm.
like mimicked his whole outfit in that with her like
Yeah,
jersey
she
and stuff.
was. Yeah, that's true.
And she got to choose her all of her wardrobe for that movie, which is awesome. So the fact that she did that
Oh
as a
yeah.
nice little nod to like a
Mm.
hello. But yeah, I don't know if you know this, but I like horror movies a lot, so I think I know more than I probably should.
I've put that together, yeah.
Are you entertained? Are you at least entertained with these facts?
I am. I find all movie
Okay.
facts really interesting. I love knowing how like things were put together and behind the scenes and stuff.
You know what? I do too. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no, I love watching documentaries about how stuff was made and like
Oh, yeah.
the little weird, something went wrong and it made them change something and then it becomes this big like iconic thing. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. We need a Hell House LLC doc. That needs to
Yeah.
happen. I feel like there's a lot there that could go with it, not only behind the scenes, but the making of it. And I just want to know how Stone Steven got to come up with Hell House LLC because it's just the most
Yeah.
random concept, but it's great.
Yeah, it is really cool doing like a horror with it's almost kind of meta, I guess. The haunted house becomes a real haunted house thing, yeah.
I love it.
Mm.
But yeah, man, I think we've got like a good amount of your list. I think we've got some pretty banger ones coming up. Not that these ones were not, but
Yeah.
I will say there's a few on this list I am surprised you brought up because I don't think they get brought up enough.
Which ones in particular do you think?
Ooh, should I
Yeah.
intro this one?
Okay.
Okay. So the one that I feel does not get enough love that
Mm.
you put on here is Sinister.
Yeah. Sinister is an amazing movie, I think.
Yes.
Incredibly scary. The whole home movie thing with the kids, I just Yeah, I think it's so creepy. And it's also like such a good movie outside of that. Just, Ethan Hawke's performance,
Oh yeah.
everything. I think it's so good.
Yeah, and it mixes two of my favorite things, true crime and the paranormal, and
Hmm.
some a little bit of mythology with the whole Bagul guy.
Yeah, he was really scary too. Just the face that they created for that guy.
Oh, yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. That was another one that I had to pause when I was watching it because I was getting a little bit too scared. Yeah, and the part where his son is like walking in his sleep and he's in the box and he crawls out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super scary.
I would have thrown that kid away in that box if he did that. I'm like, this is where you live in this box now. Get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, I think I would do that too.
Nothing against, child abuse or anything, but that is just too weird. I mean, he would at least live in a tent outside for the rest of his life till high school.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Like, and then, he brings his future wife over. It's like, this kid used to pop out of boxes. Like, good
Dad.
luck with that. Don't let him get all the boxes out of your house if you marry this guy, for God's sake. If those little bastards he has does the same thing, you're out of the will. No, I have a funny story about Sinister. So, for some reason, the trailer terrified me so
Yeah.
damn much to where when it came out to rent, I had to watch it in the daytime, and
Oh,
I was closing my eyes a lot during this. This is when I was a little bit less courageous in my horror movie watching. I lived alone, so I mean that aspect is pretty scary at sometimes. But then I remember like, okay, it's towards the end. I've made it. I've
yeah.
and then that fucking Bagul guy jumps up in the screen
Yeah.
and just and I threw my remote against the wall and I'm like, you fucking bastard. I was almost out. Damn it.
I do have a trick that I use now when I'm getting too scared.
Okay.
I kind of pause it for a second, and then instead of identifying with like the protagonist, I start rooting for the scary monster or demon or whatever it is. And then it becomes much more fun and watchable. And like, fuck Ethan Hawke, he's a dick for doing that to his family. He should,
Yeah.
you know, just side with the bad guy, and then,
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
yeah.
I mean, Ethan Hawke, he is a dick. I mean, he tried to put his career over his family. So him
Yeah,
getting
moving into
killed.
that house without letting anyone know is not a cool move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think if my spouse did that, I'd be like, okay, cool. Well, you're gonna live in this house by yourself.
Yeah.
You can keep the creepy kid with a box. I'm in love with your brother, and he does not like that kid, so we're gonna leave him here with you. And just this whole lifetime movie of the week, leaving your family scenario. That's what he deserves.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, they need a Funko of that kid coming out of a box like that from that
Yeah.
movie. I would buy that only just to shame people. Just give it to them as a gift. Like, this is how much I don't like you. Here's a fucking weird ass kid in a box.
Creepy kid in a box. That's a
Yeah,
nice passive aggressive present.
I know. There's not very many passive aggressive presents anymore. It's hard to really do that these days.
Yeah, you got to really think about what they don't like and then give them that, I guess.
Yeah, like a cat shirt. But I feel like that would blow up in your face. What if they like cats?
I like cats. I would enjoy that present.
Yeah. So see, I can't do that for you. I'm sorry.
No.
But I don't want to spite gift you. You're a delightful person.
Thanks.
You're
All right,
welcome.
then give me a cat shirt, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So
Right.
there you go. If I give you a cat shirt, our friendship and our bond is great. But if I gave you, I don't know, what's a terrible animal? An
A
aardvark?
bat, I guess.
Oh yeah, there you go. A
Yep.
bat. A bat carrying an aardvark.
Okay, if you if you give me a bat carrying an aardvark, I know I did something wrong.
Yeah, you really fucked up
I
big
sure did.
time,
No.
man. I would get that gift and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I'd be like, I kind of like it. It's weird. I like weird things, so that's fine.
We got to make it now. Go
Yeah.
to those make your own t-shirt places.
Yeah, we'll have bumper stickers like you're being a real bat in an aardvark right now.
Yes.
Like you fucked up. These are the things that go on in my head. I don't know why it's entertaining to people, but I find it entertaining. Do you have a favorite death out of all the tapes in the Sinister movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think back on all of them. There, there was the one, well, the original one is the tree, right? Where he saws
Yeah,
the branch and then it hangs everybody. And then what else is there? There's the pool where everyone drowns.
yeah.
And
There's the mowing one, I believe.
is that he mows over them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then there's something that happens in the garage. Does he set the car on fire or something with everyone in?
Yes, that is. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was trying to like remember the ones and not remember the ones from the second one because the second one's got some really weird deaths in that one.
Yeah, the second one was okay. I liked the first one better, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I did not expect a little girl to, spoiler. Sorry, this movie's been out for like ever,
I
so
think
don't,
it's okay at this point, yeah.
yeah, don't come at me, Gen Z angry people. I know you're gonna come after me. I'm for sure getting a abandoned aardvark from those people. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Now, I really liked the Ethan Hawke's death tape. I thought that one was really good at the end because did not expect
Remember,
it.
actually, how does he die?
So they ended up like tying him up, and the girl chops him up with an axe.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're all tied together, and she's like, "Don't worry, Daddy, you're gonna be famous now." And just
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Maybe I
something I
got too scared by the end of it because for some reason I
yeah.
remember that the least of all of them. But I think slowly drowning each family member one at a time in the pool
Ooh, yeah,
is the worst one.
that's real fucked up.
Yeah.
It's the worst way to go, I think, or
Yeah,
being crushed to death.
that would be bad too.
Yeah, being
Hmm.
crushed to death while you drowned. Now that's even worse.
I don't know. I don't know how that would even happen.
Um, that submarine thing that happened, that maybe, but I don't think they drowned.
Where they imploded, right?
Oh yeah, so that wouldn't
Oh,
work.
yeah. So that one's
Titanic.
like painless. Yeah, Titanic would be bad.
Yeah, there you go. There's some probably someone got crushed with that. These are tragic moments that I'm talking about in a funny comedic way.
Yes.
This is why I have no friends.
The Italian guy in Titanic got crushed by the big steam pipe coming down.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did get crushed slash drowned at the same time.
How would you if I was that guy, I'd yell Mamma Mia, and I'd just go out. I'd just start singing Mamma Mia and just not as an Italian stereotype. I just think that song needs to be sung more.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I like to jam out to that on my way to work.
To the
Mamma
Mamma Mia
Mia. Yeah.
song. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I just lost points with everybody. That's fine. Listen to Mamma Mia, damn it. Meryl Streep is a treasure. She's great in that movie.
Is. She really is.
Yeah. You're like, wow, I'm never doing a podcast again. Jesus Christ.
This has ruined it for me. This is my
Yeah.
first and last. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I won you back, but then the Mamma Mia thing, I think,
Yeah. There's
you
more
know,
time. You could
this
put in.
I will try my hardest to win your respect back.
Great.
Okay. I make things awkward. Maybe that's part of my charm. I don't know. Somehow it worked. I mean, my wife finds it charming. She's fine with it. So I guess it's charming in a weird way. In a wow, he's really nice, but I want at least 50 feet restraining order from him. Maybe 20 if he cools it a little bit.
That's cool. Still charming though.
Yeah. See, this is why I shouldn't have a podcast. This is I bounce shit off and distract people from what they want is horror movies. They want horror movies. There's another one that I am I'm also surprised no one brings up. And we were
Mhm.
talking horror comedies earlier. Shaun of the Dead. I feel like that is having a nice little resurgence lately.
Yeah, it should. It's an amazing movie. Yeah, it's got everything. I mean, it's horror with the zombies. It's also a romantic comedy. It also like the scenes with Simon Pegg when, he knows his mom is gonna die or his
Oh, yeah.
stepfather, and he's like gets, I mean, really good dramatic performance in that too with that happening. Yeah, that's just also just like a perfect movie.
I remember when that first came out, and I was like, everyone's talking about how great this is. It's gonna be one of those to where like it's overhyped and I'm not gonna like it. That's the sad thing. If someone overhypes something, it either turns out amazing or it's that catch 22. It's like, oh well, they ruined it for me because it's overhyped. But this one I didn't feel like it did. I mean, there's so many good comedic moments, like the scene where they're getting rid of all of his soundtracks to throw at the zombie girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the Batman Return soundtrack, yeah, chuck it. Or there's this, he's like says a band, I can't remember the band. He's like, I actually like them. And he's like, no, it's shit. And then Ed, I love Nick Frost in that movie too.
Mhm. Yeah,
So funny.
great. Yeah, so many good moments.
And Queen, they had a great Queen song to the whole beating scene. So
Yeah.
so good. Good
Yeah.
old Edgar Wright. And the whole Cornello trilogy, I mean, is great. Hot Fuzz, I really liked a lot.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz is really good too.
Mhm.
Mm.
What is it? At World's End was not too bad. It's not the best of the three, but
Yeah, that one was interesting. Is when he's doing the bar hopping thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I saw that one too. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I also there's that one guy that's secretly in love with his girlfriend who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna leave, and he just gets ripped apart.
Right. Yeah.
Could you be that embarrassed that you just want to get ripped apart by zombies? I think I'd deal with the embarrassment instead of that.
I can understand the feeling. I've definitely felt like, oh, Jesus, I'd rather get ripped apart by zombies than be in this uncomfortable moment right now. But I probably would not actually do that. But yeah.
Not feeling that on this podcast, hopefully.
No.
At any moment. Okay, good. Um
No.
that guy was just a I hate this is a very Disney 90s insult, but he was a weenie. He was just
A
a stupid
weenie.
weenie. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that's the right word for him. He was a weenie.
But yeah, he has a great girlfriend who was the version of Pam in the British Office, like in the original
Oh,
Office.
yeah, she was.
Yeah, and then, Simon Pegg and his whole spaced TV show. I don't know if you've ever watched that before.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
them just complaining about the Star Wars prequels. And that's
Okay.
that's just all, and while they're roommates, and such a I love British TV. I don't know about you.
I haven't watched that much of it, but that sounds really good.
It's great.
I also like making fun of the Star Wars prequels, so
Oh yeah. I think we're in that age bracket to where we did not find those appealing, but people younger than us, the Gen Z people, feel like it's the better of all of them.
yeah. I've heard that because that's what they saw when they were little kids. So that's, they think of that as like the real Star Wars. It seems so sad. I mean, they're not as good.
No. The third one maybe, but the first two, let's be
Yeah.
it's creepy. The end of the first one is very weird because Natalie Portman's like, "Hey kid, I want to put you
Yeah.
in a leather cape and see what happens."
Yeah, the age difference thing is strange. With the first to the second movie, she was like a grown up to his little kid, and then suddenly they're romantically involved. That was a little weird.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was it's very Mrs. Robinson, but in
Mhm.
space, you know.
Yes.
Here's to you, Space Robinson. There we go. It works. I
Yeah.
feel I I always try to think of movies that aren't horror movies if they could be a horror movie.
Mm.
Star Wars could be a pretty good horror movie if it was done right.
Yeah, I can see that.
I even think that about rom-coms. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, Never Been Kissed, that's a horror movie right there."
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's an
Or
older man thinking he's going
something
after a high school girl.
from that.
Really grow that movie is not aged well, unfortunately.
No, it hasn't. Even at the
Yeah.
time, I remember thinking it was creepy that, like, wait, he's disappointed that she's a grown up? That's
Yeah.
weird. I mean, I get that she was lying to him, but yeah. Shouldn't be slow dancing with your student in the first place, probably.
No,
Yeah.
no. Or take sex ed from Molly Shannon because I think that was a very weird experience.
Yes. That was a weird scene as well.
Oh god, yeah. Anyways, back to horror movies.
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead has a really great special feature to where you can see it kind of does a comic book version about how some of the side characters survived.
Hmm.
So like the girlfriend whose boyfriend's in love with the other girlfriend gets ripped apart. Hers is my favorite because she hides in a tree and takes one of his legs and nibbles on it to stay alive until everything clears away.
Yeah.
And it's them narrating each of their characters.
Hmm.
So she's like, "Oh yeah, I found his leg and I nibbled up there, and eventually I was found. It was great." Yeah. So I don't know if that one could do well with a sequel. I'd be interested in seeing it. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Simon Pegg was doing it and like I'm sure they would come up with something really weird and strange and funny. So that could be interesting.
I'm sure I'd watch it. I wouldn't be against it, but I mean, still, like it's hard. It's hard with sequels. I mean, we're talking about Blair Witch earlier. They did that Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows. That was not enjoyable. That was very weird.
Yeah, I remember not being crazy about it at the time, but I heard that people are starting to like it now again or something.
Okay.
It wasn't appreciated at the time, but it's aged well or something. I always thought that if they were going to make a sequel, they should have done like going back in time, like of the actual Blair Witch or of
Okay.
the guy in the 70s or 80s who was like stealing kids or something, and the Blair Witch was telling him to do it. I thought like a prequel would have been a cooler way to go.
That would actually be pretty cool. I would watch the hell out
Hmm.
of that.
I think that would be fun. And it's cool to do period stuff for horror movies too. Um, like The Witch, I thought was really awesome too.
Ooh, yes, that was
Yeah,
very good. And to tie it to the work that you do, I mean, Carmichael Manor had a little bit of a period piece to that
yeah, it
aspect.
did. Mhm.
So
Yeah,
hey, wink wink, there you go.
yeah.
Speaking of space, there was another one on your list that is space related
Yeah,
that I feel people don't see as a horror movie, but they should.
yeah. So I put one of my favorite horror movies is Alien and Aliens. I love both of those first two. And I think it's sci-fi, but I think it also counts as a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gory, it's a monster stalking people, ripping them apart and stuff. It's definitely scary. So,
Yeah. Then you got that judgmental cat who just watches everybody get eaten, and then Paul Reiser, being a
yeah.
dick. And then
Yeah.
I love, and this is probably well known, but they didn't tell people the chest burster scene was going to happen. So that was their natural
Right.
reactions.
Yeah, I heard that too. That is really funny and cool. Yeah.
One thing people don't know is for the eggs, they used shredded condoms and KY, which I thought was very weird, but it looks gross. It looks fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it does. Wow. I did not know that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really weird what they'll use for practical effects, but practical effects, I would rather that over than a CGI
Yeah.
stupid thing.
Yeah, for sure.
We grew
Yeah.
up in an era where CGI is something that was a little bit newer, but it was still always practical effects. And Alien and Aliens did that very well. Plus, it should be considered a horror movie. The tagline is "No one, or in space, no one will hear you scream."
Yeah. That's definitely a horror movie type of line. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And I think all of the monsters and effects and everything still look really good, like the practical stuff that they did.
oh yeah,
So yeah, it definitely holds up. And Ellen Ripley is like the coolest.
oh yeah. She's a badass.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the only smart person on that ship. And her and the
Yeah,
cat, they're the only ones who deserve to live. So,
yeah,
yeah.
it's true. And she has a great line. I can't remember if it was the first or the second one, but she's like, "You bitch," and then she just like attacks the alien. Maybe it is
The
the
second
second one.
one when she's in the rig.
Yes. Oh god,
Yeah.
such a cool
So
scene. I
good.
love that. I feel like they did her dirty though, because she ended up just swan diving into a molten lake because she had a chest burster, but then they brought her back as a clone hybrid of an alien.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't care for like the beginning of the third Alien, just completely uh like fucked over everything. The entire
Oh yeah.
of the second movie was like, oh, actually, they're all dead. All those people that you cared about in the second movie. And she's in this prison thing now. Like, yeah, I didn't like that they did that to the characters from the second movie with Newt and everything.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, you remember all that hard work you did in the second one? Oh yeah, it's undone because she drowned.
Yeah.
She's drowned and she's dead.
Yeah.
So sorry."
Really had an alien living inside him, so he was always gonna die. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's a weird. I haven't watched very much of the newer ones. I'm sure they're good, but I have a hard time with some of the new aspects of old movies that I love. Like
Hmm.
that I'm still tying it. Like, hey, remember when this was popular? Let's bring it back. So it's
Yeah.
it's hard to do it. But is there any particular reason why Aliens is just your favorite horror wise? Like, is there something that stands out about it besides what we've talked about?
Um, I think I watched it when I was really young. So there was, well, I was watching a little girl in a movie who was around the same age as I am. I think I like, identified to the story from that perspective. And yeah, the aliens are so creepy and so scary. And the moment where there's such like a good build of tension in different moments when they're like the beeps are happening, they're trying, and they're
Yeah.
like the aliens are coming from the ceiling, and they're like, how are they inside the room? Where are they? Yeah, that scene really scared the crap out of me. So yeah, it's just a really well done, cool movie.
Yeah, and there's not very many horror aspects in space. I mean, there's a few out there. I mean, there's Event Horizon, Hellraiser Bloodlines kind of takes place in space.
Hmm.
Leprechaun 4 in space.
I was gonna say Leprechaun went to outer space, right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about like someone made a point like on one of my podcasts that I listen to that somewhere around a fourth horror movie they tend to go to space. Like Jason
Hmm.
did it in Jason X, but it was 10, but Leprechaun went to space. I think Critters 4 has a space aspect to it. So
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't know why they just decided, hey, we're gonna take all these horror villains to space and see what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's weird. And Leprechaun 4 in space is a terrible movie, but I enjoy it. I
Yeah.
enjoy it very much.
I think I must have watched that, but I don't really remember anything from it. I definitely watched the first one. But
Yeah, the one that Jennifer Aniston denies that she was in.
she's so good in that movie.
I know, I like it. She's like, no, I never did a Leprechaun movie. Then why is it on your IMDb? I
Mm,
don't know, but I'm going to talk to someone about it.
yeah.
I think she finally admits, she's like, yeah, I was in that movie. It's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. It's
No
kind
shit, you were in that movie.
of
I love Warwick Davis too. What
yeah.
a treasure that
Yeah.
man is. Your next, I think this is the last movie I have on your list, is one that was very popular when I was like in junior high and high school,
Mhm.
and it took the whole aspect of watching a tape to a whole different direction.
Mhm.
The Ring, which I feel is like a great one. It's one of those that the first one is significantly better than any of the ones after it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, The Ring is super scary. I went to excuse me. I went to see it by myself in a nearly empty theater, which was really creepy. There was like one other guy in like a trench coat, like in the theater, so that
Well,
was
that's just bad news.
yeah, it wasn't. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole movie. There just should have been more people in there. But yeah, it was really scary. I've never seen the original actually. I probably should, because I hear it's really good too, or possibly even better.
They're
Um,
very interesting. They take a
yeah.
weird turn because they have the grunge and the Samara character mixed together
Mhm.
into some hybrid like demon thing.
Ah,
and
okay.
like the third or fourth one, but
Mm,
I think they're good. Japanese like J horror movies are amazing. I
mm.
think foreign horror films do not get as much respect as they deserve. But yeah, if you have not seen those, I would highly recommend them.
Yeah, I should watch them. Yeah, because I really I thought The Ring was so good and so scary, and I was really a little bit concerned for the week after I watched it. Like I did watch
Yeah,
the videotape. Technically, it was in the movie, so if I make it through the next week, I guess I'll be okay. Um,
such a weird concept that you watch a haunted videotape and then she calls you. Does
yeah,
she have like a telemarketing list where she's like, I'm just going to sit down for 6 hours and I'm going to call all these people 7 days? Okay, I got to call Frank Edwards next. That guy watched it twice, so I'm going to give him 4 days.
yeah. And now she would just text you, I guess.
I don't know. Does she? I don't, well, I guess, or FaceTime you.
Yeah, she could FaceTime you.
Accidentally put the like dog filter on. 7 days. You know you're a cute puppy right now. What's happening in 7 days? Are you gonna get a cute little puppy thing happening in 7 days? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
not
where I
quite.
went with that. Yeah.
No, but no, great, great movie. Very scary.
Yeah. This, oh God, like, I don't know. The first time I watched that movie, it's one of those that like it gets into it right away because the girls have it, and then like you see the girl's face just fucked up and distorted like that. It took me a while to rewatch that.
Mm. Yeah, the moment where they show her scared corpse face, like how she looked when they found her when she died, I definitely jumped when I saw that part. That was really scary.
Yeah, and you know, it might be to younger kids, the whole aspect of VHS would be pretty scary now, I would assume, because they
Yeah,
don't really know what VHSs are. And
that's true. There's no one has a VCR to be able to play their scary tape.
every other person's grandma still has the TV VCR combo, I feel, at least.
I think I might still have one in my childhood bedroom, actually.
Nice.
Really tiny one that I got at like Walmart or something.
Nice. Not
Yeah.
a sponsor, but still a
Yeah.
great thing to say and buy things at. Yeah, I feel like I had one of those too. Like, I don't know if it was in our kitchen or like in a spare bedroom, but we had that like TV VCR combo, and then they had the VCR DVD combo.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe, like, here's the weird thing. I know we're gonna get off topic for a little bit on VHSs, but it's weird that people grade them now and sell them for a ton of money. Have you seen that? It's very weird to me.
No, I haven't seen that. It's like an antique now. They're selling it because it's
Yeah.
like cool or something.
Yeah, they grade them like it's fucking Pokemon cards, and then they sell them for like $800.
That's crazy. I'm sure my dad probably still has one. So maybe I
Yeah,
should do that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, going a little vacay. Like, how'd you get here? I sold 12 copies of Uncle Buck, and
Yeah.
I'm here. Let's have a whole John Hughes thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, The Ring, I don't know. And then you have Brian Cox's whole side storyline of that, and him just electrocuting himself in the tub, and
Mm.
yeah, and then the horse, Jesus Christ, the horse thing is probably
Yeah.
one of the most terrifying things in that movie.
Yeah, the whole video is really unsettling. So they did
Yeah.
a good job with that. And then when she's coming out of the TV screen, um,
Ooh, yeah.
it's really scary.
She attacks that, that Australian guy from Grey's Anatomy.
Yes. Yeah. Was he in Grey's Anatomy?
He was, yeah. My wife and I joke about that sometimes because for some reason we've rewatched that show 4 times because
The
it's,
whole thing?
yeah,
Couldn't because they're still coming out.
yeah. I think we like stopped after COVID and was like, this is too real. We need to take a break. Let's watch
Okay,
Ugly
yeah.
Betty or something.
That makes
But yeah, my wife gets in these moods to where she wants to rewatch a show that we've seen a bunch of times, which I'm
yeah.
all for it. I probably rewatched shows like that a ton of times, but now it's like I watch a movie and I'm like, oh, that guy was in Grey's Anatomy. That's how I know him.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, this Grey's Anatomy person was in this horror movie. So it's interesting how, Seattle Grace has infiltrated my mind.
Yeah.
Those damn people, those bastards.
Is it less scary now because he's the guy from Grey's Anatomy?
Well, no, because he dies in a terrible way.
Oh, does he? Oh.
Well, yeah, because like Samara comes out of the TV and like,
Oh, I thought you meant he dies in Grey's Anatomy in a terrible way.
oh no,
Oh,
no, I don't think so. I
okay.
think they wrote him off the show.
Okay.
But no, that's another thing. It's one of those like ambiguous, like you think, okay, they finally defeated it, and it was all to save a little ghost girl, but then she comes out of that guy's TV and just fucks everything up.
Right. They actually did the exact opposite of what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, you just find out she was an evil little girl.
Hmm.
Which, fun fact, she was the voice of Lilo and Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is
Oh,
weird.
huh.
I think it's like the same year, but yeah, it's plus like this is another thing. It has the woods, but then it also has a well, and I've always found wells terrifying. So now I've got to assume some ghost girl with weird bangs and long hair is going to come out and kill me if I watch a VHS tape.
Yes. So you should be scared of VHS tapes and wells.
Okay.
Yeah.
And spinning chairs that levitate for some reason.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
was the weirdest part of the video is that there's a chair upside down just spinning. Like, why is that terrifying? Like, it's just, it's like you're watching something and then something happens and you're like, what the fuck is this? Why is this in here?
Yeah, I feel if you put anything in that weird grainy black and white footage, it probably looks incredibly creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have like a baby shark, in that like weird thing, and it just, or Bluey or some children's show.
Sure.
And then, someone's eating just a piece of celery. And for some reason, it's terrifying. But yeah, that's
No,
such a weird
celery is
tape.
really scary.
I want to like put that on a tape and just put it somewhere random and just see what happens. Like
Yeah.
just donate it to a thrift shop and see if like someone who's never seen the ring, they're like, I got this really weird tape.
Yeah, that would be
Some
really funny.
some asshole called me on the phone. Who calls people on the phone anymore?
They
It's
would
it's
never
that
answer. You'll have to leave a
that's
voice.
true. Yeah, they probably wouldn't. I see a number I don't recognize. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Who talks on the phone anymore?
I don't, crazy people.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
don't enjoy it. I don't think anyone does.
no, I mean, send me a text. It's like I assume someone's dead if you're calling me.
Yeah, it's an emergency,
Yeah.
definitely.
Or
Yeah,
you're the door dasher and you can't find my house for some fucking reason. Like
right,
that's,
right.
you know, hi, I've got your fucking Pizza Hut here. Can you tell me where you live? I cannot use Google Maps, which is sad. I mean, I can't really use it either, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, maybe I should pull that as a prank on somebody. I'm going to do that. Anyone listening, if you have more time than I do and you would like to try it and also find a way to call the person, I will give you a gold star.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you gotta do it.
People don't get gold stars anymore. That was the
Yeah.
highlight of my first grade. If I got a gold star, I was a fucking champion. I just want a gold star for something.
Totally.
Yeah. You know what? I would give you a gold star for being a fantastic guest,
Oh,
Elizabeth.
thank you so much.
We're winding down a little bit, but how do you feel? Did you feel that being a podcast guest is less scary? Did you have fun on your first podcasting experience?
I did have fun. Yes, you were delightful and charming and made it really fun, and the time went by quickly. So yeah.
All
That
things
sounded
I
bad.
heard.
That sounded rude in some way. I didn't
No,
mean to.
I was gonna say all things I heard
I was
at the end
hoping to
of
get
a
it done
first date
really
that I
quickly, so no.
no, it's like all things I
Such a
heard at the
fine
end of a
guy because it
first
was
date
so
I would
fun.
never go back to. It's like, yeah, I had a great time, but I'm not gonna call him. Like, fuck that shit. He took me to Sizzler, for God's sake. No, I think you're a delightful guest. And not only that, it's just I like I said, I'm truly honored because I am a very huge fan of your work, and I'm very excited for people to see Hell House Lineage. I think it's gonna knock them out of the water, and you did amazing in it. I can't sing your praises enough. And I probably mentioned that a lot in my review, but yes, You really stole the show on that one. You and the cast really made that movie. So I think everybody needs to see it. If they don't, then you can't listen to my show anymore.
Oh man, harsh.
I'm gonna lose 10 listeners solely. No. Is it harsh? I don't know. I believe in it so much.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really nice of you.
You're welcome. I don't know what it is. I'm very obsessed with Hell House. I don't know what it is.
They're fun movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fun things and fun
Hmm.
things coming up, what's in store for you after the Hell House LLC Lineage? Do you have any great projects coming up? Anything you're working on?
Yeah, I did a couple short films earlier in the year. One's kind of a dark comedy, the other one's more like a family drama. And then I have a feature film that I should be shooting in summer, maybe fall. That's more of like a psychological thriller. Um,
Oh,
s-
okay.
we're doing rehearsals and stuff for it right now, so that should be coming up soon.
Nice. So is the short film something you made or is that just something you were in?
Just something that I'm in, just something I was cast in. But yeah,
Nice.
it was really fun.
Awesome. And Elizabeth, where can people follow you? All the great stuff that you're doing.
I am kind of on Instagram.
Kind of on Instagram. Okay.
I have an Instagram account that I barely use, because I need to watch like a tutorial or something to figure out how to use it. Because I'm just not very social media savvy, but I will try to be better at it and post things.
You can always hit me up. I am forcibly having to post way too much, so I could always give you some
Yeah.
advice.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm sure you got some cool like Hell House LLC behind the scenes like photos that you could always post. I bet that would be fun.
Yeah, there are some fun ones. I should go back and look through the stuff from there. Yeah, there's a fun one of me with my throat slit. Um
Okay, yeah,
yeah, because they did all this makeup because I get my throat slit in it and then they poured all this
that's
blood
right.
down the front of me. And then in the movie you can't even really see it because I'm like in profile and shadow kind of when it happens. Um so yeah, I was bummed out people didn't really get to see the really nice horror FX makeup that was on me for that.
That's
So
true. Do you think you were scared more being in Lake of Fire or Lineage?
scared more in what way?
Like being in that. Like I know the Abaddon Hotel feels like it'd be creepy to fill in, but
Okay, like the locations.
yeah.
Um, I think Lineage is the creepier location,
Ooh,
personally.
okay.
Yeah, Abaddon Hotel, it was creepy the way that they set it up with the white hallways and everything.
Oh yeah, I hate
Um,
that.
yeah, it was very disorienting. You never knew like the door was a trick door and you actually had to go through this. Like it was just confusing. For the Carmichael Manor, that building has like, I mean, it's from built in like 1915. It has a lot of history. It is supposed to be supposedly haunted. The local lore is that the building is haunted. So I think that one was a little bit creepier.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yes, Elizabeth, thank you again so much for being on the podcast. And I'll have to have you back on again. And I will send you some horror movies. And
Please do.
we are now friends. That's what I say to everybody after the podcast. I am now your friend.
Nice.
We are buddies, and I may never hear from you again, but still, it was delightful.
I
No,
had
I
time. Thank you so much for having me on. It was really
no,
fun.
thank you, and I'm really excited for people to see Hell House Lineage. So
Thank
Au-
you.
August 20th, I believe, is
August
when.
20th, they will be in theaters. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Shutter in the fall. But I think this is a theater experience. As much as I hate movie theaters these days, I
Yeah.
will go and see it. Even though I've seen it, I will buy a ticket.
Nice. Thank you.